Good morning, everybody. It is 10 o'clock in the morning here in Colorado. I am Becca Laurie Hector, and we are here with Growing Gratitude. This is week 2 of Growing Gratitude. So if you missed last week, it was a lovely story time. If you are catching this week, yay. Again, I'm not sharing this on social media or pushing it anywhere. I'm just putting it up on YouTube, doing a live stream, and letting it kind of do its own thing. And I got to tell you, you guys, I was blown away with how many of you on the subscription list actually watched Growing Gratitude last week. And the views were really, really high. And I didn't do anything about putting it on social media, which tells me that I can have a lesson of gratitude about not even having to share it and being grateful for that. Good morning, Joe, or good afternoon, Joe. It is for you. And I don't know. So that was really exciting. Oh, you can see Fiona in the background. So I managed to do an outside one again today. So I know we've been doing being Becca inside, which I've now moved it inside for the winter. But I had a gorgeous day today. It's a little windy, so I'm like huddled next to my house. Hi, Morgan. And I'm like huddled next to my house over here to kind of cut the wind a little bit, because I remember when it was windy out, you guys couldn't hear great. So I'm sort of like huddled over here, but I wanted you to see the last of fall here up in the mountains. You can't really see the aspens anymore because almost all their leaves are gone already. And it's probably one of the last really pretty days we'll have. We're supposed to have snow tomorrow already. So yay. Good morning, Bill. So yeah, we're supposed to be getting snow, and so I wanted to take advantage myself of the last pretty day of fall and take you guys with me and do Growing Gratitude out here, because I'm grateful right now to be living here and not living where I used to live in New York. And I was a really unhappy person there, and I couldn't do Growing Gratitude sitting outside. There'd be too much noise, too much smells, too much everything in New York, just too much. But I'm feeling really grateful that I can come to you guys today from right here with my dog's butt in the background. Makes me quite happy. So I'm feeling grateful about that too. But the purpose of Growing Gratitude is to give me an opportunity to, and it's very selfish, I guess, to give me an opportunity to share my gratitude from the week and kind of really in a very tangible way, out loud, kind of thank the universe, share my gratitude with you guys, share my gratitude out loud, just kind of really give it life of its own, right? So that in hopes that if I give it all these nutrients and all of this attention, the gratitude in my life will grow. And my hope is that if I make a habit of sharing my gratitude like this publicly once a week, maybe, just maybe, you guys, when you're done kind of here with me, maybe you'll have some 10-15 minutes yourself to sit and think about your week and grow your gratitude a bit. And then if all of us are doing that, we're growing the global gratitude, which is a fantastic thing. So in hopes, fingers crossed, that's what I'm doing with this little growing gratitude thing here. And again, I'm just going to keep throwing it up on YouTube, doing a live stream, and I'm not sharing it. I want to see what happens. I'm curious. So anyway, pardon the puppies playing. They have had an interesting week as well. So you guys, let's get into story time. Story time, gratitudes. So this week, you guys, was the Sammy's grand opening. As you know, I told you last week we did the kind of walkthrough of the truck and whatnot. Well, Antonio and I busted ass this week. I mean, when I say busted ass, I mean there was not a spoon to be found in our house. Not a single one. They were all used up. Even the dog spoons were used up. We really had a crazy, crazy week, but that's the way it is when you open anything, a store, a business, right? It's always, you do your best to make it as good as you can. It's never going to be perfect. You know that it's never going to be perfect. You have systems to perfect and all kinds of things. And always, as you're getting right up to the line, there's always feels like there's just that much more and you're running out of time and oh my God, the pressure's on, right? So that's the week we were having. As you know, Antonio's mouth healed and all of that. And so we told that story last week. But there were about 50,000 other small and large challenges that were thrown in our kind of direction, in our path, right, towards the opening this food truck, right? And things like, first, my car broke. And we didn't have the time to really give it attention. So we said, we'll deal with it afterwards. And then Antonio's car broke. And now it's sitting in the driveway. Fortunately, we have our little cruiser van. It's a 1978 van. And we planned on really fixing it up and using it to camp and taking the dogs on trips, road trips, stuff like that. But we had to actually use it as our vehicle. We were down to that, and it's not in great shape. It's a 1978. It's not pretty. But that's what we were down to. So it was like, come on, right? Can I just get a break? We just have to get down the mountain to get the groceries, right? And that's where we were up to, kind of. So not yesterday, the day before. So Friday was our first day. So Thursday was probably the most insane day. It felt like the last time I felt like this was when we were moving, and the day before we were going to be driving away from New York with all our stuff and trucks and all of that, and all the packing and all the getting everybody organized and the goodbyes and the cleaning and everything, right? That's what Thursday felt like for us. We got up super early, and that day began with the closing up on the lastest challenge that fell into our path, which was that a raccoon had found his way into the crawl space of our house through our cat door, and had been stealing our barn cat's food and ravaging their little home under there. So Antonio had to set a trap, a nice trap, whatever, a humane trap we used, and we had to set a trap for the little raccoon. And the first night, he didn't even trip the trap. He got his food out and he was fine. And then the next night, which was Wednesday night, we actually caught him. So when Antonio woke up on Thursday morning, the first thing we had to do before we could do anything else was grab this crazy raccoon in his cage and rehome him elsewhere into the natural, forest. So that's what he did. Antonio drove him to the national forest, let him free, and then came home, and then we were able to start what would be the craziest day of ever. Okay. So we needed to. Our generator was supposed to be delivered on Thursday. It wasn't going to be delivered till Monday. So we had to go. To go all the way to. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to explain the logistics when you don't live here. So we live 45 minutes up on the mountain. Denver's 45 minutes, an hour down the mountain from us, and everything is down there. So all the big stores, right, like Sam's Club, Costco, Home Depot, all that stuff is down there. And so we had to go down to like the big FedEx place, right, and where the packing trucks were, to go and pick up our generator, which is a 200-pound generator. So off we drive in our van, our 78 van, down the mountain with a cooler for the food and going to pick up our generator first. So we drive, and it was actually where we first lived when we moved to Colorado. So we had to drive all the way over there, get our generator, throw it in the car. Then we had to stop and make one errand near where we used to live, and we stopped and saw a couple of friends for like 2 minutes because they just happened to be outside. And then off to Restaurant Depot to go and buy all the supplies, which when you're first starting anything, you need not just like the food. We needed like soap and sponges and garbage bags and like all the other paper towels, all that other stuff too, because we had no supplies, right? So it was a huge shop. The numbers were distressing. There was a lot of sweating and almost crying and vomiting as we looked at numbers. But we have to try to remember, we are investing in ourselves. We are investing in ourselves. If we don't have this, all the work that we did up till now is useless, right? So we do that. We pack it all in the car, and the parking lot's crazy, and people aren't letting us really pack the car, and whatever. So we get it all done, and we're in there, and I'm now like, okay, I'm hungry. I got to eat something. I'm like starving, right? So we had headed down the mountain really early to do this thing because the vinyls, the little stickies, right, on the truck, I just wanted them for opening day, and they finally got us in the schedule for Thursday, the day before. It's been a solid month of trying to get these vinyls done. Finally, they get here on Thursday, but we had to meet the guy at 2:00 up here, which means we had to leave down there in time to get all the way up here, right? Okay, so now we're running back up the mountain, and we still have to stop at our supermarket to grab a few things that they don't have at Restaurant Depot, blah, blah, blah. So we're stopping, and the vinyl guy calls, and he's at our house. And I say, go ahead and get started. It's okay, but he can't. We have to physically be there to approve where he's going to place them. So I have to tell the guy that he has to wait like a half an hour because we still have to drive all the rest of the way up to get started. And he was so mad, and we felt so bad. We tipped him very nicely, so don't feel bad for him, but it felt terrible, right? It's just in that autistic way, it feels terrible to A, not have your schedule go the way you want it to, B, to kind of intercept someone else's life in that way. It was really upsetting. So, but we're driving up, we have everything. And then when we get back, right, he's here. So we have to kind of leave the groceries in the car and take care of the dogs who've been here for hours and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Does the stickers look great, and Antonio and I are starting to load up the groceries in the back. Okay, so we do the groceries, we have to clean the truck, we have to do the groceries, we have to prep the food still, you guys, and it's already like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. And before we could clean, we had a few little fix-its in the like to put up things to close the cabinets, things like that, little tiny things, right? And we had to do that, and then we could clean, and then we could load the food, and then we could prep. Okay, I'm just letting you know that we worked until 10 p.m. getting that truck set up. We did not sit down or eat dinner until 10 p.m. the night before. Finally went to sleep at midnight, woke up at 4 a.m. 4 hours, you guys. And you guys already know what mornings are like for me, right? Now I'm on no spoons, 4 hours sleep, a day before that stole all the spoons from the day I was going into, right? And here I am. We get up, we start going, we do the dogs, we do this, blah, blah, blah. We go out, right? Okay. When I tell you this, please try not to cry, because I wanted to cry. The food truck would not start. Yep, you heard it. That's right. 4 o'clock in the morning, food truck won't start. Okay, so that's how we began our morning. We start the truck, we get out, we go, we get gas, we do the long drive, we get ourselves down there, and we still have more to do. There's still more prep. There's still more getting things organized and putting things, because you can't drive with everything out on all the counters. You have to drive with it away. So we pull it all out and we get it all started. And you guys, one more. The fryer doesn't want to work. Okay? Yes. Yes, Bill. Okay. So we're all calm. What does that mean? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, we didn't have time to set up our big giant generator. It's still sitting in the van. So we're working off the tiny generator that we have. Okay. And I go, okay, well, let's at least get the coffee on. Turn on the coffee maker. Boop. Blows the generator, you guys. Yes. So now we can't do coffee. We can't do fries. Okay? So we're down to, we can't fry the chicken cutlets, so that means they all have to be grilled. And we can't do fries. We can only do home fries, right? Okay. Deep breath. I go and I take our signs, our street signs. I take the walk and I walk them out and I put them out, right? Come back. Here we go. Antonio, we just have to focus. We are like inches from the finish line, like inches. Okay, you guys, the meltdowns were like knocking. They were like, please let us out, please, please. We just want to be a meltdown. No, not letting it happen. Staying focused, head down, because you guys, I busted my ass for the last month and a half trying to keep this stuff going, getting that going, helping and doing all of that stuff, getting the website up, the marketing done, blah, 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 blah. And I'm telling you, all my head said was, you donated so many spoons. You gave up so many other things to be doing this thing right now. If you throw your hands in your air at this moment, what a waste of all of those fucking spoons. And in that space of frustration, anger that we get, that can sometimes lead us to inertia, I went, fuck no. And I just head down, let's chop vegetables, let's get it all ready, set up the square, the whole thing. And then, this is the last one, I promise. And then, who forgot the key to open the lockbox that has the money and the change and all the shit that we need? This lady. Why? Because I've been doing too many things. Okay, so we are a half an hour from opening. I get back in that silly old van and I start driving back home to go and get the key. It's like a half-hour drive back to our house from there, maybe 20 minutes. All right, driving back. I'm going to put on some music and I'm just going to breathe, right? I feel terrible. I've left Antonio there by himself. He really can't do anything. He can't take any orders, blah, blah, blah. And he's also still trying to get the food prepped and get everything ready and doing his part of the task, right? So I drive all the way back. And in this moment, right now, as we're driving. So it's called Crow Hill. It's a really huge steep hill that goes from the town of Bailey, that's sort of really low elevation, to back up to where we live, which is really high elevation. I hate going back for stuff too, Joe. I hate it. I hate when I forget things. I hate when I drop things. It's so frustrating to me. And I know it's not my fault. Okay, that's the other thing. I know it's not. I know it's because of all the other things that were in play. I know anybody else would have forgotten it too. It's not just me because I'm autistic, but still, right? Hate it. And I'm in that space of, I can't fucking believe that I did this to myself, that I did this to him. How could I disappoint him? How could I let this happen? Right? And I go, no, right? And I'm trying to just breathe. And as I get to the crest of the hill, and it's sort of, you peek it and then you drop it just a tiny bit, and you get this view of the mountains. And at that moment, at that perfect moment, because when we left the house, it was dark. Okay. So when I crested that hill and the sky opened, it was the most goosebumpy, beautiful sunrise I have ever seen in my entire life. I swear to you, I could cry about it right now. It was just so glorious. The colors, it stretched across the sky, just the silhouettes of the mountains and the trees. It was just, if I could have taken a picture of it and done it any justice, I would have. But it was so beautiful that I know the camera couldn't have caught it. That kind of beautiful. And in that moment, I just went, holy shit. I am so grateful right now to be alive, breathing, where I am, and at this exact moment to see this beautiful sunrise that I otherwise would be sleeping through, or I'd be down there busy and angry doing stuff. But instead, the universe created this whole thing, and it presented me with this gorgeous sunset. And that's when the gratitude clicked in, right at that moment. Right then, I had to say to myself, I'm just going to drive home. I don't want to get into an accident. I can't be angry about it. I did my best. And if people want to be upset, they can be upset. They don't even know how much work I did to get to this. And I just kept driving. And I thought to myself, God damn it. The universe can so effortlessly create something so gorgeous, right? I can fucking run a food truck for a day. I can fucking do this day. I've done so many harder days than this day, right? And I've done so many harder things for longer than this day, than the 5 hours that I have to be down there. I know I can fucking do that because the universe can do that, right? And I just had this moment of pure gratitude where it was like, thank you for teaching me the lessons. Thank you for putting me on this journey. Thank you for teaching me what I've learned. Thank you for letting me share it with other people. Thank you for presenting me with this as my reminder instead of some ugly challenge. Thank you for all of it, right? For making everything line up the way that it was supposed to line up to put me exactly where I am right now. Because I was right where I needed to be. I needed that reminder. I needed the gratitude lesson right in that moment. And with that, I drove the rest of the way home, ran in, grabbed the key to the lockbox, jumped back in the car, drove back down. Nobody had come to the truck yet. Antonio was still setting up. And right as soon as I got there, someone came up and was the first customer. Okay? So that was my gratitude. The rest of the day was amazing, you guys. Opening day went amazing. No one was disappointed about the coffee or the fries because everything else was so good. We had no mistakes. We got lots of amazing feedback. We had huge support from our community, from the few friends and what we would consider our Bailey family came down and supported us. Our new neighbors supported us. It was really just an amazing day. And then, yesterday was just, everything went right yesterday, right? Because we slept last night, and the night before Friday night, we slept and we ate and normal and whatever. And instead of starting at 7 on Fridays, we started 8 on Saturdays. So we got a little bit extra time to get ready with the dogs in the morning. And and we talked about how we were going to do things when we got in because we knew how we left it, and we just went in and we kicked some ass and we were ready for the day, and we never once the rest of the other time. And again, we still had no coffee yesterday and no fryer. That's going to have to get fixed in these next few days off, because who had time in the one night to fix any of those things? So that's mission impossible for this week for Antonio's plate, because I have my own autism stuff to do for the next few days. So he's got to tackle kind of fixing the gas situation with the fryer and dealing with some propane issues and some other few little things around. And then we'll get that generator, the bigger generator up. We'll have our coffee makers working and we'll just keep getting better, right? I mean, that's all I had to say to people is it's our first day, right? Or it's our second day. It'll keep getting better, I promise. Just keep giving us your feedback, right? And there is the lesson in gratitude. That was my huge, big gratitude lesson for this week. It was, and I needed it the most at that time, the gratitude, right? I needed it to kind of save me. I needed that perspective shift, that mindset, hi, Penny, and that, like, you know, that kick, the kick that I'm always talking about to you guys. You know, you never know where it comes from, right? And so that morning, that sunrise was that was my kick, right? I was in the wrong space. I was doing old habits. I was, half awake and all of those things. And I needed that. I needed to be like shaken awake by the universe. And that happens to us. It's whether you decide to open your eyes when it's happening, right? That's where it's about. That's what it is. And it's usually when you're feeling the most challenge that the universe is screaming out to you. And you have to open your eyes wider and open your heart bigger, right? In those moments, because it's hard. It's fighting. You're fighting everything else. But when you find it, it saves you. So that's my lesson for today. That's my growing gratitude. That was my growth in gratitude this week. And it is, I'm telling you, you guys, I am so glad you like this lesson. I'm seeing all of your comments and like, I'm even in your area. I really want to be, please come. If you're really ever here, if anyone is ever anywhere in near Denver, whatever, please let me know. I would love to see you guys in person. I would love to have you come to the food truck. In fact, I had one of my very good friends from Autism World come. He's here in Colorado. He lives down the mountain though. And he drove all the way up with his friend to come get breakfast yesterday. And I could have cried right in that moment because, how much of my life did I go through without support? How much of my life did I struggle without people understanding that I was struggling? And just, to have all of that. And when we were telling people the stuff that we were dealing with, they couldn't believe, they couldn't tell, they said. They couldn't even tell that all of this was going on. And that maybe was another lesson in the gratitude, right? It's an appreciation of my resilience, being grateful for the resilience that the struggles in my life have given me. Because God damn it, I'm resilient. Really. It amazes me. I don't know it. I don't know how I'm still here, right? It's sort of amazing. Anyway, with that little bit of gratitude, I have to go now and rest, my gentlemen and ladies. I am exhausted. To say I have, oh, my Fifi. To say I have no spoons is like, I don't know, a really poor comparison. I need a shower. I need to drink a lot. I'm really dehydrated. And I need some rest and some brain dead time, which I'm going to go do now. But I had to share with you guys, I needed to share with you that I practice what I teach you and that I still need my lessons. I am still learning and I am still on this journey with you. And I am still being challenged every day. And I know you are too. But if I can do it, if this 44-year-old lazy lady, can do this, you can do it. I promise. Okay, guys, I will see you on Tuesday with Being Becca. We will talk about other things. We will get into some really great conversation. I'm sure when I'm sitting still on my couch, I will think of all kinds of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. So I hope to see you on Tuesday for Being Becca. I will see you out in the World Wide Web, all over the place. Send me comments, leave me comments here. Thumbs up are beyond appreciated. Likes are beyond appreciated. Subscribes are beyond appreciated. Shares, all of it. So if you see me out there and you can let me know you're looking and you see me, I'd really love that because it's kind of lonely sometimes. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. I will see you on Tuesday. Go do something fun. Do some joy, create some joy, share some joy, do some joy stuff, guys. Have a good one. Bye.